What's up, everybody? You're listening to Lyle's Movie Files. I am he, Jeffrey Lyles. Joining me today is one and only Big Gun. Gunner, what's up?
What's good? What's good? Glad we made it to the snowstorm. We're number one.
Jace, what's up with you, little brother?
Good. That light dusting that we thought we were going to have was a fun 10 inches. And glad to be back out in the world, seeing the folks, and now back to podcasting. All right.
The important thing is we did get a snowball fight in. Jay King, what's up with you, man?
Oh man, I'm loving life. Um, it's day 137 of the government shutdown. It never seems like it's gonna end. To all our listeners who may be furloughed, please keep your head up. And like the OPM guidelines says, consult your personal attorneys and make some adjustments. Like keep your Gulf Streams in the hangars, dock your yachts. Make those adjustments so that you can, maintain your lifestyles. I'm praying for everybody. I'm praying for us all. So let's give them what they need, Jeff and everybody.
First up, The Punisher drops this Friday on Netflix. Now, of course, we're all awaiting the inevitable announcement on Friday at 3 a.m. that Punisher will be canceled and there won't be a season 3. But what are you guys hoping for this season?
I would like to see the continuation of the story. Wondering if there are going to be any cameos of the canceled show headliners. Never know. So we'll see. I think this is probably the best portrayal of Punisher, so I'm just looking forward to the whole thing.
I can tell you so far, I'm on episode 11 now, and you will be disappointed on that front. But they do keep some connectivity with the other shows because there are some characters from the other ones popping up. And it is very much a sequel to the first season, where unlike the first or the other shows kind of did their own different secondary plots when the next season arrived, this one pretty much just follows up where we left off with the last one. Jace, how about you?
I was going to say, so this isn't like Jessica Jones where it goes on a tangent. I mean, well, you think is really going to be something cool, then just like by episode 11, you're just like, why did I keep going? Why does everyone keep saying this show is great?
I kind of feel like by season 6 of Jessica Jones' second season, I was ready to tap out, but I just kept going just because of you. Go ahead.
Honestly, they got a good, like I said, they got a good portrayal of Punisher. If they continue the storyline, because there was some room to go, and I hope they actually, the one thing, and I have no experience on this, but I really like when they were actually talking about like his past military service, like that part. Like I really hope they continue that, because even for somebody who doesn't see that all the time, it's like if I can get a glimpse into that world, even if it's not a perfectly accurate portrayal, it's like I can empathize. Like, damn, those guys really do go through some crap. I mean, even if that's like a fictitious writer just saying kind of. It sounds good versus some of the shows that we hear that just sound very tone deaf. But I think we actually heard that some of the military folks had actually really liked the portrayal in season 1 of Punishers, like the group sessions and kind of what the guys go through. So if they can continue that and come up with a good bad guy, I'm gonna be very happy for the show.
Well, I can tell you Jason Armour, who played Curtis, the guy who ran those group services or group sessions, is back, and he has a very big role in the season. Okay. And there are several, one of the big subplots for this season is a group of veterans. So, yeah.
Okay, Jeff, did they do, since you're on episode 11, did they do a good job like they did the first season where it's like, all of the subplots start coming together into the main story?
Yes, they do. I think it starts off a little slower because of a new character who never really works for me, just because of that thought of this is probably going to be last season of Punisher. I wish they'd do something else. But by this point, maybe like episode 7, they start reducing that character's importance to the main story, and it's just kind of going on to like the main event, if you will. And so when they did that, it was like, oh shoot, okay, now it's about to get really good. Like this last string of episodes, they've been 4 really good episodes that I have rated no less than a 9. So they've been really good. And when it started, I was probably a little bit lower on those ratings. You know what's interesting is that maybe Punisher's second season will have more people watching it because more people will actually be home to watch the show early Friday.
Yeah, I was going to say now. Early. I mean, I guess the engagement can't drive Punisher to a third season, since we all know it's inevitably getting canceled. So
exactly,
I want to see what Netflix says. If they just fully admit, like, we're going to lose all these shows because our partnership with Disney is ending. Like, just not say it's because of viewership or engagement. Just like, hey, our business arrangement is moved to something different, and now we're asking you to pay $2 extra for the same stuff you saw before.
Right. But yeah, I'm sure they'll see a spike in the Washington D.C. area. You know what I mean? And maybe a few outskirts of Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and a little bit, to Richmond, where the government contracts usually are. You know what I mean? This is like, pretty sure they'll see a spike of viewership within this region. But like you said, Jason, I don't think they'll ever. They're never gonna. I don't think they're gonna admit anything. They're just gonna be like, we're out, because I think Netflix feels like they lost, right?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like of the shows that they've canceled, Daredevil is still one of their more popular and most streamed shows, which I think is very funny because, they'll announce, hey, 44 million people stream Bird Box, but yet we've never heard any other kind of ratings for any other shows. And right. Because they've been so silent about how the Netflix Marvel shows have done, I'm thinking they're probably in that top 10 too.
But wasn't that the director kind of producer saying, kind of quoting numbers, not an internal Netflix person, with the kind of how many people had viewed the show?
They would have no idea. I mean, it's only Netflix people. There's a group that claims they've figured out Netflix algorithm, but I don't understand how they could do that without having access to Netflix servers. So it's just, I feel like they could say whatever they want. Speaking of Netflix now, because since we're on that topic, Netflix is doing a big price increase for everybody. And I think the basic regular subscription rate is going up to $13 a month. Now, I think given what Netflix provides, and especially with all the new series and all of the onslaught of movies and the quality of those films, I don't think that's a bad deal. I think maybe $20 is the tipping point of Netflix. I don't think they can get past that and have as many people subscribe. But do you guys think this price increase is going to hurt Netflix, or do you think it's justified given the quality and quantity of their shows?
No, it's not going to hurt. I mean, for what it's worth, it's still cheaper than HBO. And HBO doesn't offer half of what they used to offer. And I look at HBO and what they don't give you no more. Number one is boxing. And that was something I wanted to put on the one of the posts I wanted to put up on the site, Jeff. After 40 years of boxing programming on HBO, we saw our last HBO fight on December 3rd, and it was a snoozer. So
I was wondering about that. I'm like, so it wasn't okay. I was really wondering about that, because I'm like, me and my dad used to watch HBO boxing the night after or the morning after. It was like a breakfast.
Right.
Because usually I'm like, asleep or something. So we always, I just remember the smell of eggs and bacon, or definitely.
And the fight's on, right?
Fight's on. So when my mother-in-law was in town, watching, helping us with Bernie at first, it was just me and Bernie watching boxing. And he was like, all of 3 months old into it, right? And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like me and my kid. This is great.
The tradition continues.
And so maybe 2 weeks ago, I realized, hey, where's the boxing?
Right.
So it wasn't just me. I was sitting here like, maybe they just took a break for the winter. They just took it off, huh?
That's gone. HBO Sports, HBO Boxing is a thing of the past. They're still going to do, I think, real sports, but that's really fallen off. Another piece of HBO, not to just hop on HBO, because the topic is Netflix, but like I said, HBO Go is still more than Netflix, and they don't offer you things like HBO Boxing. They don't offer, remember the American Undercover series that was so great on HBO? Mm-hmm. These things are gone, right? So Netflix, having to pay another, $2 more or $3? What is it now? I don't even remember.
I think they said it's a 25% increase, which is probably about 13. I think maybe it's 18 for the HD folks or the 4K
Hey,
folks.
to be able to watch Glow, to be able to watch F is for Family, and the documentaries like the Great Quincy Jones documentary they did, and several
Mm-hmm.
others on there, I'll pay the $13. It's still I find myself watching more Netflix than I do any network on TV.
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
and the other thing for me is like I was, I'm in the midst of a move and I couldn't, we had to turn the cable off. So I
Right.
wasn't able to finish one of the shows that I had on my DVR. And it was already on Netflix. So I was able to finish the last four just from popping on Netflix, which is great. And their quick turnaround for seasons when they wrap up is
Right on.
a real incentive, for something else. And I really want to harp on those movies because they put out a ton of movies in the last 2 years. And they're attracting big name stars like Will Smith, Joel Edgerton.
Mm.
And it's not like, oh, this fallen star who's just doing a
Sandra
lifetime
Bullock.
Yeah, I mean they're getting Oscar winners to show up and headline these films,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been a mixed bag, but some have been really really good. So
And not
and
for
they don't look like
nothing.
cheap movies.
No, and not for nothing. The heavy hitters that are signing attaching themselves to Netflix projects. The Coen Brothers did a film for Netflix. Sandra Bullock and Will Smith alone. That's as A-list as it gets, right?
and don't forget,
Um,
Mudbone, wasn't that nominated for stuff too? Like,
yeah. So there's a lot of high quality content on Netflix, original content on Netflix. Aside from that, like you said, Jeff, we're getting the seasons of network shows that are premiering like 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even sooner after they've wrapped for the season. The amount of original programming, and that's the thing about it. It's not just like Strange Days, Orange is the New Black, Stranger Days. Yeah, Stranger Things. I'm saying Strange Days. I'm thinking about another movie. I'm flicking the guide and I saw Strange Days. I'm thinking Stranger Things. But like Stranger Things, Orange is the New Black, Glow. The flagship series on Netflix right now. There's so much content that they're producing. To me, the increase is only going to go towards, and they're smart enough to do that, I think, because with the last increase, look at the quality of content that we got. I mean, for what it's worth, two of the biggest action movies of last year are on Netflix right now. They're not even on cable. Black Panther isn't on any of the cable outlets yet. Neither is Infinity War.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, if it wasn't for Game of Thrones in April, there was no reason to watch HBO. It's just
Game
like
of
they don't
Thrones,
have
Insecure, and maybe Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess which
Guess
which one is about to roll? You know what I mean? And Game of Thrones is about to roll.
Right.
Go ahead, Jace.
I was gonna say. So out of each one of those, it's like if you were watching each, is it worth, let's say, $15-$20 a month to watch a show and be locked into a contract for a year to watch one program every month? It's like, because what was it like? And I'm just going like how I paid for DC Universe. I paid $80 for the whole year. Since I've gotten that, I've gotten an episode a week of Titans, which was good. That was the first 3 months. And now that they've rolled out 3 episodes of Young Justice, I'm like, I don't feel like my dollars are getting wasted at all. But if I was watching HBO, I'm like, I don't want to watch 90% of the movies on this channel, but I want to watch this one series. And I almost could just pie that on, iTunes every week, or just wait till the season wraps up and just pick it up on on Blu-ray and feel like I made a cheaper investment for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And Jace, I don't want to keep bashing HBO, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It seems like right now, if anybody's noticing, Showtime is kind of leapfrogging HBO.
Yep.
Now, what's Showtime at?
Those are a little better.
I'll tell you this, because the hotel I'm in, they actually have Showtime and not HBO. And every hotel I used to stay in, from the 90s to 2000 to 2010, always had HBO. Showtime was like the luxury one. Like, oh wow, this is a really good hotel. It's got both of them. But you always had HBO in these hotels.
Right.
It's true.
The tables have turned, man. As Showtime has better documentaries right now. Their shows are good.
Riveting.
They have boxing. For those
And they
of us
have
who like
boxing.
Yeah.
Showtime was like, oh, word? Y'all getting rid of boxing? Oh, well.
Gunner, let me tell you something. I don't know if
Except for
y'all been paying
pay-per-view, of course,
attention.
you know.
Except, right, pay-per-view. But I don't know if y'all been paying attention, man, but the best fights out there are coming on Showbox Friday nights at 10 p.m. Do not miss it. You're going to see two guys fighting for a cheese sandwich, and it's going to be better than anything you'll pay for to pay $90 for on a pay-per-view. That's over. Yeah.
Hey, those guys for those pay-per-views, they know they are safe investments.
Oh yeah.
And
Exactly.
those guys on the Showtime boxing, those guys are trying to make it there, and they are.
Yeah,
I mean, those are great boxing events. Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah.
Those are Waldorf, Oxon Hill, you know, MGM fights.
So Christopher McQuarrie, the director of the last two Mission Impossible films, had an offer on the table apparently to direct some Warner Brother DC films. And he decided, I kind of like what I'm doing with Tom Cruise. I'm going to stick around and do two more Mission Impossible sequels. Given the state of the Mission Impossible franchise versus the DC extended universe, keep in mind Aquaman just went over $1 billion. Do you think he made the right call?
I mean, Tom Cruise is not gonna not make money. I hate the double negative, but he's gonna make money, you know. And the Mission Impossible films, hell, the last two have been great. The last two are probably the best of the series, right?
No.
Oh,
Fallout was the best one. I didn't like that Rogue Nation. I mean, Rogue Nation was okay, but it felt like a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible film where he plays Superman. I like the movies where he's a lot
I'm
more.
sorry. Have you watched any of the Mission Impossible films? It's Tom Cruise and Superman. That's all they are.
There's some
Jumped
that are
off a helicopter to a moving train. I mean, come
there
on,
are
man.
some that are worse than others. I mean, geez, what was that, 95? That was young Tom Cruise. I'll excuse that. But I mean, Tom Cruise doesn't look like he's in his 30s anymore. He looks like he's in his 40s.
He's a 50-year-old man.
Yeah,
I mean, I mean, I dig it. I dig it, Jeff, but he's still, like I said, the first one, he jumped off a helicopter to a moving train. I mean, it's Tom Cruise and Superman. You know what you're getting. I mean, it's not like, okay,
right.
I think what it is for me, the problem with some is when the rest of the team sits around and watch Tom Cruise.
What's he gonna do?
What's Ethan gonna do? I like the team aspect when everybody's involved and not just sit around. Ethan, you're so awesome. I can't believe you're doing this, Ethan. I like when other people are involved in the mix.
I mean, I dig it, but at the same time, it's Tom Cruise's. It's Bad Robot. It's Tom Cruise. What do you?
I understand.
It's not. It's not Super Friends. It's Tom Cruise. I mean, I like the movies. I think he's going for the safe bet because, for what it's worth, he can. What is DC gonna do outside of Aquaman was a hit? Wonder Woman is coming up next. Outside of that, you got Shazam, and then what's next?
Well, Gunner, this one's for you. The rumors were that he was going to get the Superman films.
Well, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't go wrong, dude. They can only go up from here. See what I did there? Oh, they can go up and away from here. So, hey, why not? I'm like, at this point, you can just, you know, you can just play here's some dice in my hand. I can just shoot some craps on it. Like, let's see who's going to be the director. Anybody's better at this point.
Yeah. But that would have been a good bet, though. That he's already worked. He's had a really good working relationship with Henry Cavill. So if you could get him, like, hey Henry, let's come to a better understanding of how we get the Superman franchise moving. I mean, and the reason why Mission Impossible was delayed was because Tom Cruise he got injured, and
that's my whole thing. He's not getting younger, and I know it's a strike while he's still youngish, but I mean he can't keep his schedule free to do Mission Impossible films all the time. And if that's the case, what's he going to do in between outside of like, all right, I'm working on the script? I think really they kind of missed the boat in terms of transitioning the franchise to someone else and maybe have Ethan move into a mentor role. I mean, they put Jeremy Renner in there as like the young guy. It's like Jeremy Renner's not that much younger than Tom.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner's like, Jeremy Renner's like got 5 years. Like, right?
Wait a minute, how old is Renner?
The one with
48. All right. Mm-hmm. I was browsing through seeing how old Jeremy Renner was. I know he's tied up or about to get into this new potential franchise. What do you think about Chris Hemsworth stepping in the Mission Impossible franchise and being like the new guy?
Too pretty.
Tom Cruise
Oh,
is greedy?
I know. I'm being a jerk. I'm just,
I don't know. I just have to see it.
No,
I have
I'm
to
not.
see it. I don't know.
I'm just being a jerk there. I say too pretty, but we talking about Tom Cruise. No, Hemsworth. Either one will work. Either one will work.
Oh, Liam
I,
would work better. I mean, because
I don't know. Either way.
Chris is going to be tied up with Mission Impossible. I mean, Men in Black. So
Maybe. That depends on
Ugh.
how well it does.
Right.
Right.
yeah.
If this is a dud, oh man, that's one and done.
But you know,
Like
I
I
think
was.
what's good about him, he's
Mm,
been pretty bulletproof. Even if he's not in a movie that does well at the box
mm,
office, it's like, okay. Because he's always had Thor to fall back on. But I think he
yeah.
has the likable factor that
Oh,
it's
the
like,
ladies
okay.
love looking at him too.
Yeah, and I think he's like that, in that Jason Momoa boat where it's like, yeah, he's a pretty
Hmm.
boy, but dudes think he's cool too. It's not like
Exactly.
he sucks his acting because
Right.
he's just a pretty boy.
Exactly.
So
And he
let's move
doesn't
on.
have that douchey thing going either.
Nah,
He seems like a
he
guy
seems
you have
like
a
a
feel
cool.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of a film that Chris Hemsworth was involved in, 2016's Ghostbusters, we just got a preview today of Jason Reitman's sequel to the original Ghostbuster films.
Hmm?
And this apparently is
Huh?
going to be the film that passes the torch
Mhm.
from the Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson era Ghostbusters to the new generation. Now they I think what they kind of missed the boat on was they did not do that with the Leslie Jones and Les McCarthy version, and instead just kind of acted like, okay, this is a Ghostbusters in its own pocket universe.
Right.
Wait,
What's
what?
going to make this one work? So
I'm sorry.
Ivan Reitman directed the first two films. His son
Right.
Jason is directing the new one, and they
Right.
already have a teaser trailer up for it, which you can check out.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Now.
they've been working on this for a while. Like this
Yeah.
isn't like
Mhm.
just some random development. They've actually they had code names for it in the studio so he could work on it uninterrupted. So
Right.
they put. I mean, this isn't just thrown on the wall like a bad idea.
But wait a minute, guys. Are we gonna, like you said, Jeff, just now? This is separate from the universe in which the Kristen Wiig.
Mhm.
That's totally. This is not that. This is like Ghostbusters 3, basically.
Who the heck knows? I mean, it could be one of those deals where they show up, but as of right now, it's a separate property, which is more of a direct sequel to the old ones from the 80s.
Yeah, Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe there's like
All
a
right.
multiverse. Who knows? It's paranormal. It's paranormal activity. You never
Maybe
know.
Barry Allen will come through and fix it for everybody.
Okay, so who's
Hopefully.
in it? Do we know yet?
The original cast.
One person's dead.
I mean,
That's
one
real
person
hard.
Yeah. Yeah, Egon's
Which could
dead.
be, you can just have him as a hologram like they do with Tupac and just have him in there as a ghost.
But that could be a
Terrible.
reason why
Yeah.
the band gets back together for Egon's funeral, and then
Yeah.
they have a reason, and then it's like whatever hijinks comes from that.
Dude.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd, and Bill Murray, Rick
Right.
Moranis, Annie Potts, Sigourney Weaver.
Exactly.
All right,
kid.
real quick, off the
And the
top
kid.
then,
Oscar.
who would be your next generation Ghostbusters?
Seth Rogen, Dave Franco.
I'm already uninterested.
Why not?
I'm so over Seth Rogen.
Look
I
it.
think after
The
this
moment-
is the end
moment-
or whatever, I was good.
Look
He
it.
couldn't laugh at a joke on Entourage. I was like, really, dude? You do comedy. How are you gonna be offended about them making fun of you? Like,
Who
come on,
knows?
man.
I mean, yeah, that happens. I mean, Seth Rogen, Dave Franco, Kevin Hart.
Oh God.
I know. Seth Rogen, Kevin Hart, Seth Rogen, Dave
The
Franco,
Rock.
Kevin
There you
Hart.
go.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
That would be
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Got ourselves a $250 million bomb right there.
Can you
All right,
imagine though? Oh no, I got a better one. Go ahead,
All
Jason.
right, good, George.
I'm actually okay with putting in James Franco, because actually, I mean, Disaster Artist showed he's not just the slapstick guy. He's actually can do some stuff, not laugh at every one of his jokes. I'm trying to think of anybody else. I can't think of anybody else, and I'm trying not to jump on anybody when they say somebody and like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, but
How
right
about
now,
Little Rel Howery?
no, no. I would say now,
We need a black guy.
I actually, that's what I'm kind of like. Are we going to go with a diverse cast, or are we going to go with kind of the same makeup, like
Yes,
three guys?
we'll have it very diverse. 3 white guys and a black guy.
I got a better one. Hear me out, y'all.
Why not actually have a woman in there, like she's Ray's daughter, like not this like however you want to do that. He's married to some nice lady, they've been off, so have a woman there. Just as long as it's diverse, better diverse, and actually has funny, and these guys have some chemistry, I'm actually cool with it.
Okay, Gunner, who you got?
Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris, actually playing a gay person.
Okay.
I do want Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah, and that's Gate. That's Gate right there.
And then I want, I forgot her name. Old girl from Crazy Rich Asians.
Awkwafina.
Awkwafina.
Yup.
You already got Kevin Hart playing a black person. You don't need Awkwafina.
Why not? We're going to actually do diversity, not say we're going to do diversity.
Awkwafina's stick seems to be heavily influenced by black culture. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no, she's basically bootleg Laquanda or something like that. But
I can dig it. I'm gonna leave it. I like this cast.
Kevin Hart, maybe Michael Pena. I think Michael Pena's hilarious.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm doing the full cast. Michael Pena.
That would be hilarious.
Danny McBride. Danny McBride. And God, I'm trying to think of my man.
So we're just not gonna have any female Ghostbusters.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm thinking Dave Franco for the Rick Moranis character. Or Michael Cera. Now I'm all over the place, right?
I hate Michael Cera. No, please don't.
I love Michael Cera because he's just that dork. Ellen Page is a Ghostbuster, if she'd be up for it. Or I don't know how funny she is, but I like her. Rose Byrne, I like her a lot. From the neighborhood.
I wrote Rose Byrne down too. Yes, she's very
Rose
funny.
Byrne. And I would make the love story centered around her, and maybe her. Nah, I think the love interest would have to be either, I don't know, man, somebody like Momoa or somebody whoever's eye candy that can be funny, male eye candy that can be funny.
Channing Tatum.
Boom, there it is, done. Let's get it.
Kevin Hart doesn't need your stinking Oscars. The Upside is another #1 film for him, even with all the Oscars controversy. People going on Twitter saying how terrible and awful a person he was because he had some tweets that he apologized for years ago. He still is the box office draw. And maybe next to The Rock, there's not another guy who is so guaranteed to kind of open your film outside of the Marvel Studios banner than Kevin Hart. Agree or disagree?
Agreed. He's made a ton of money for Hollywood over 5 years, dude. Check the numbers.
So that's who they're putting up. That's who they're supporting. And then, black people are going to go see it because we don't watch the Oscars and we don't really care about the gay agenda, as they call it. Let's be clear. I mean, there's plenty of black folks out there that are like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm just calling it realness. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that's just a real thing if you're talking about money. So it's unfortunate, but, hey, that's kind of how it is what it is on that one. But and then you got the cats that, are just like, well, Kevin Hart's still funny. I'm still going to watch
the interesting thing with the Upside
too.
is that that's not his traditional slapstick comedic thing. It's more of a dramatic comedy. So that's a nice sign for him. He's #1, and it's not just doing the same old Kevin Hart deal.
Right. when you looked at the previews, and not for nothing, it is January. It's not like there's a ton out there. This was probably outside of Aquaman, which is still playing, surprisingly. It's still your best bet.
No, Jovon, it was actually a bit of an upset because going into the weekend, they all had but assumed that Aquaman was going to take the box office crown for a fourth week, which is
Lordy.
huge for any film, but
Yeah.
especially for a DC film. So the upside they had estimated low, and it actually came up higher than they anticipated. And top on that, they haven't been doing a ton of advertising for this. I mean,
They
you
really
don't see
haven't.
you didn't see a lot of commercials for it during playoff football games. Which would be a traditional kind of Kevin Hart marketplace. And he wasn't all over the circuit. I mean, he was doing some stuff, his work in promoting, but he wasn't out there like you normally see Kevin Hart hustling to promote his songs.
Yeah, he's on everything when he's promoting. But I think, like you said, Jeff,
a little low key.
Controversy from the Oscars thing hurt. Those comments that kind of hurt the promo for the movie. I don't know if that worked in its favor or not. I don't know, but wow, that's big win for him. Big win for him.
I mean, it's not just him too. Don't forget who the co-star is. Good
Bryan
Lord,
Cranston. Right.
Bryan Cranston
I think we've seen it. Kevin Hart with anybody. I mean, what was that? The Wedding Planner. I mean, it doesn't matter who his co-star is outside of maybe The Rock, because that just means they make more money together.
Right.
He's a draw. And I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like people have gone to movies to see a Bryan Cranston film. Like, he did Trumbo, but I don't feel like he's done a lot of stuff where people are like, oh, man, did you see that Bryan Cranston film? So, I mean, outside of people who are watching Breaking Bad, there's not like that demand to go see him on the big screen. And I think that $19 million is largely attributable to Kevin Hart.
Yeah, because he's critical acclaim. He's not. Like, for example, I hate to say it, but a lot of black folks say, I got to see that new Bryan Cranston movie.
All right, Jovon, you mentioned the people apologizing and the apology tour. So we've gotten, it's been a full, 4 or 5 days since last time we spoke on air about the R. Kelly controversy. And surprisingly, a few more people have spoken out saying, we had no idea that R. Kelly was this terrible person. We didn't know this when we decided to record or have him do a song for us. So the new list of people who decided they want nothing to do, they want the record scrubbed of R. Kelly and their music. Let's see, Celine Dion, who's probably the only person on this list who can go, hey, I've got a career, and Lady Gaga, of course, who can go, I don't need to worry about anything with R. Kelly. I got enough songs on my playlist that this won't matter. We got Chance the Rapper, and he's another one. Sierra also joined the tour, but my favorite by far, the Pussycat Dolls.
Right.
Because
they're
making
the most irrelevant.
I feel like they're trying to latch on like your boy Omarion. Like, hey, look, I'm here. Have you heard an album or song one from the Pussycat Dolls since 2006?
Other than Don't You Wish, I don't remember anything
else. That was like a decade ago. I mean,
that was a solid more than a decade ago, right?
Man, that was a minute ago, and they've been so relevant.
Damn,
I was like, y'all are funny. But yeah, I just think and then I read this really good column in Rolling Stone today, and it was like, we don't need to applaud the apologists or the R. Kelly people who are now apologizing for collaborating with him. And it's just like, yeah, absolutely not.
No, screw them. They knew what they were getting in bed with. I mean, look it. I'll give you a perfect example. I want anybody who's listening, and I want all my brothers right now, go online, all of y'all, and look at the Aaliyah AJ Nothing But a Number album cover. And just read the album cover, read the name of this, say AJ Nothing But a Number, and who's creeping in the background? R. Kelly.
He's out of focus, though.
Like creepy.
He's out of focus.
He's out of focus, right? Look at like Dame Dash coming out here and saying all this, that, and the other. Hey, Dame, all that Harlem whoop-de-woo you talk, and this is directly at Dame Dash. You talk all that garbage about this, that, and the other. Harlem this, and it's not even about Harlem, but you portray yourself as that dude, right? If Aaliyah felt that kind of way, if it was this kind of tensional or whatever, and you felt this kind of way about that dude, then why are you doing your Dame Dash dance holding bottles in the Fiesta video? Why are you in the You're So Sexy video with him and Twister? That had nothing to do with
It is.
Jay-Z. Come on, dude. You're full of garbage. You're full of garbage and the opportunist. And that's what, look, I'm not defending R. Kelly, and I will say that again.
Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. But these people are opportunists. Lady Gaga, did you feel this way before or after he mounted you on the desk as the president in that performance you gave? I mean, does anybody remember that? Well, R. Kelly basically
remember the
mounted
song that
her.
they did together.
Yeah, there's a
I don't even remember that.
performance. Gunner, there's a performance where he basically dry humped Lady Gaga on the desk on a desk as the president.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
The author of this article is Brittany Spanos, so definitely check it out. It's called "We Don't Need to Applaud the Convenient Apologies."
thank
Exactly.
you, because
Thank you,
it is
ma'am.
starting to get annoying. I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, Sierra. I saw that one. I'm like, first of all, that might have been your best like
It's
slow
it.
jam. Damn.
What song is it?
The Promise.
Oh,
And they put their foot in that song.
It did.
So for all these apologists, have any of them given to all the proceeds of the money that they made from those albums to women's health groups? Child poverty?
Oh,
If the answer is no, then shut up.
Lady
really,
Gaga has not removed her song with Christina Aguilera replacing R. Kelly, which they sang on The Voice. So she hasn't removed that version of the song. So I don't know.
yeah. So if you want to say, hey, I was in bed, and I don't want to use that metaphor, but if I knew who I'm messing with, so I'm gonna make all this money from this album. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Like if you're saying, I am so sorry I made all this money. There's any of these, like the Pussycat Dolls, like y'all haven't made an album in 10 years. So if you want to donate your last $100,000, because that's the one that R. Kelly made, then I would applaud you.
Since you're gonna be on the cross.
Yeah, if you want to go destitute because you said, hey, I actually take a stand. This is what I did. I believe he was wrong, and I didn't have any idea who this dude was before. So now that I know what this is, I'm giving him all my money away. If you do that, I will applaud you. For somebody who's like, oh my God, I take that money, I applaud. No, you don't deserve anything.
Marvel Studios decided once again to shock everybody with their Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. Now there were some issues that people had because like, hey, wait, you're spoiling the Spider-Man makes it in Avengers, which come on, we kind of knew that was going to happen, so let's just focus and pay attention. And this trailer, like every other Marvel Studios trailer, really had me excited for the film. That's the third one coming from Marvel Studios in its partnership with Sony Pictures. And Jake Gyllenhaal shows up rocking the Mysterio outfit. We even see the big fish bowl on the costume in live action, and seeing Mysterio do his thing was pretty cool. I am very excited about this one. Not at my Avengers Endgame level, but definitely right along those lines. Jace, what you think about it?
I am shocked that Spider-Man survived Endgame. Okay, maybe not. No, my thing is I really like I like seeing that Nick Fury's in there, like to actually remind you, hey, even though he's part of the later guys, he's still connected to the Avengers. So I thought that was really smart on their part. That trailer gets you excited. It's just like, oh, Spider-Man's rocking. Was that a black costume? What's he in all black for? Is Venom coming in? Yeah. NF. So hey, you might have found a symbiote in Thanos' world. You never know. But the action looks, good. I'm once again, I think Sony and Marvel did it right. They were smart enough to say, hey, we can make so much more money using your Spider-Man and not some derivative character who's like Spider-Man. Let's all just make this money here, and you can be part of us. You can get some money. You can make some stand. We can do much better things than how it took so long for Fox to finally realize that they should never be in the X-Men business since they never had any idea about the characters. So once again, I'm actually very proud. That's actually capitalism working to me. Like Sony and Marvel just like, hey, let's make some money. Let's make another good Spider-Man movie, and I'm sure most people who saw that trailer were excited about what they saw.
Gunnar, what you think?
I'm super excited. Happy to see it. Nick Fury's in it. It's wonderful. I mean, people. But isn't this spoiling Endgame? Okay, y'all need to. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like, come on, guys. If you didn't think this was gonna fix itself, one, like, if anything, spoiling Endgame. It's called a comic book in 1991 called Infinity Gauntlet. Read it, let it go. Come on, like, everything's fine. So yeah, it's cool. I love it. What else? I like Mysterio. I mean, I was like, okay, I'm convinced Jake Gyllenhaal, Mysterio, cool, fine. The MJ character, you know what I mean? I'm curious to see where they're going with that. I guess the next movie after this huge success, because it will be what, they're in college now or something. I'm curious. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, and who he's gonna fight? Apparently, Tom Holland wanted Jason Momoa to play Kraven the Hunter.
Ooh, that would have been
good.
Dope.
Yeah.
That would have been dope.
Yeah, I can't even see anybody else playing Kraven now. It's like, yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah, man. Why
really just went through that process too.
It's like, geez. I mean, really, it's like, that dude doesn't. I mean, he's big enough, got the hair. It's like, man, who else y'all got in Hollywood like that? Dang, come on.
Maybe The Rock.
I think
it's been a while since Scorpion King.
Yeah, we got the taste of that out of our mouths.
Yeah, it's funny how Rock has this kind of old young look going right now. Like his skin is stretched a little tight in his face. He's old, but he's still in super crazy shape.
Oh, Jeff, he's not old. He's 40.
No, I mean,
46.
He was Hollywood old.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, he's Hollywood old.
Yeah, but he could play a good Kraven Hunter, man. But I think after Jason Momoa would be the perfect. Unfortunately, another franchise has him for now.
I got a question.
Hey, man, he kicked his thing in.
Luckily,
Aquaman,
he did.
So
it was
I'm
good.
happy.
Yeah, it was good. It was definitely good.
I got a question for y'all. Off topic from this, you just said something, Jeff. Hollywood old, right? And this is gonna start another conversation, but really quickly, isn't Idris Elba Hollywood old or too Hollywood old to play James Bond right now at this stage?
I think it just depends on the role. Yeah. So, like, as an action hero, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, he's like really starting to push onto that limit in terms of the roles that he does. So, like, Robert Downey Jr. can play Iron Man because he's wearing a suit of armor, and he can do that. Don Cheadle looks a little old to be in this suit of armor, just because he looks a little slight and sickly.
He does. I mean, like, him as Rhodey.
That's true, obviously.
Him as Rhodey was like, hey, bro, I thought you're supposed to be in the military, like, in shape at all, man.
In shape. It's just, like, thin.
But The Rock still looks like a damn transformer.
He does. He absolutely does. It's just, he's, the Rock's problem, quote unquote, was he did a lot of films that were crappy when he was young.
Yeah.
And now that he's like the biggest superstar, I kind of wish he looked like he did then. Because maybe it's the balding thing. I think him being bald kind of makes him look older. That's maybe. Like, I can't think of another action hero, or, any of those Marvel dudes who are bald that look young. Like Vin Diesel manages to still look young.
Vin Diesel's 50, easy 50.
But he's always kind of looked like that, and we haven't seen Vin Diesel,
the hair,
the star with hair.
Well,
but Idris Elba, he doesn't need to do too much outside of doing a little running, aiming a pistol, shacking up with some ladies.
Kicking somebody ass
James
too,
Bond. Right.
Like how was Sean Connery and James Bond? Right.
And he does that in Luther. Like, watch Luther. So yeah, he's been, he's good there too. So
but
old
Luther,
grizzly, old cop.
But what was the last season of Luther? 16, 17?
I don't know.
Yeah, then they did those little 2 episodes. Yeah,
right.
So 17.
Yeah. So I'm wondering. It's
supposed to be coming out with a movie, by the way.
I know that's gonna be dope. I mean, it's not a knock on Idris, but Idris is pushing 50.
Yeah, I need you to pronounce his name differently.
Whatever. I mean, I'm not his girlfriend. You know, I'm not his girlfriend. Whatever. String a bell. How about that? Let's keep it there.
Right.
The big one for this week is M. Night Shyamalan's follow-up completion of
Yes,
his
sir.
Unbreakable. I think it's Unbreakable. That's it, right? Yeah, Unbreakable trilogy, Glass, and this one brings Samuel L. Jackson, James McAvoy, and Bruce Willis all in the same movie, interacting and playing off each other. I've already seen the film. I will not spoil anything, but I will answer questions you all have. But I have one for y'all first. Are you excited about this film? What are you hoping to see in it?
I'm excited. This was like, yeah, I was like, oh, we're bringing this up. You know, it is time for that kind of sequel. I can see that happening now. Like, what happened to them then? The kids probably all grown up. You know, Bruce Willis' kid in the character, you know, in that movie was all grown up. So who knows what happened there? They're in some kind of asylum. How did they get there? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, ooh, what's going on? And then they become, you know, real comic book characters in that sense. According to the preview. So I'm like, oh, I can see this. I just want to know what the M. Night Shyamalan twist is going to be, because I actually feel like this is going to be a good one, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like with Split, it was like, oh, this is actually, he really is a monster. Oh, okay, cool, I can dig it. but it's. I finally watched it, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. But I was like, so is it going to be bad? Is it going to be good? I guess that's my question to you. Is it good? Do you think it's good? I think it's good, and my picker's pretty good about it. But M. Night Shyamalan sometimes screws me over. He's like the only director that really screws me over when I think it's going to be good, and it's like, nah. Like Lady in the Water, I'm always go to that one.
All right, so I'm going to hedge my response somewhat. So I think this is one I'm going to need to see without having expectations of what it should be going in. Now, James McAvoy is great. I think you know, we've seen Samuel Jackson and Bruce Willis play wrinkles of these characters in like 12 different films. But McAvoy, what he's doing is really special. Like he totally goes into these different personalities, and you're watching him as he switches, and it's like, oh wow, okay, I buy that he's a woman now. I buy that he's a 9-year-old boy. I buy that he's this wannabe rapper tough guy teen. I mean, he's all these transformations he does without really changing anything outside of outside of his physical stature and posture. He really sells and drives this movie. I kind of thought that Split was his feature focused film, but actually, to me, he kind of steals the show in Glass. So when Unbreakable, I was looking because I was thinking about this. Unbreakable came out in 2000. So if you really think about when that showed up, M. Night Shyamalan was actually real cutting edge. Like he knew where this trend was going with comic book films. Like he was really ahead of his time. Like in 2000, the only film we had was Blade at that point.
Blade.
So, I mean, so the stuff that he's talking about in Unbreakable, like if you watch it lately, he's like introducing people to comic books. And it's like this really fascinating thing to look at because it's like, man, he was doing stuff that now people would be like, oh, yeah. And I think he's still, to some extent, carrying the theme from 2000. So in 2019, it's like, yeah, okay, we already know that. We've seen like, 50, 40 Marvel, DC films. We got that. We're good. You don't have to walk us and hold our hands with it anymore. Because like in one scene, he's like, did you know in the first Action Comics, Superman didn't even fly? And it's like, yeah, man, we all knew that now. I mean, people who didn't read Action Comics or knew nothing about Superman back in 2000 know all that stuff. And so I think there's some moments where he's still kind of in that whole, check this out, I'm about to blow the audience's mind about comic books. And that's not the case anymore. So I think it's kind of different in that end.
Do you think without, you don't have, this should be pretty spoiler free, but if you were to watch these three movies together, would it tell a really good story in conclusion?
So my biggest problem with Glass, without going into spoiling too much, is not so much how it ends, but I feel like for a trilogy, you need a different kind of payoff. Now, Jason and I were able to go on Monday to check out a special double feature that DC or Warner
Yeah.
Brother Home Animation did with Fathom Events, and I love that they actually make their movies available where you can go to your local movie theater and see them on the big screen, because these are small screen films and you're never really going to see them on the big screen unless they do something special like this. So this time they did a double feature of the death of Superman and Reign of Superman, and Reign of the Supermen. And it was really cool watching Death of Superman, probably my favorite of the Warner Brother home animation films, on the big screen. It was just as good, and you know, it was like, wow, what a cool experience watching this with a bunch of uh, comic book heads. Reign of the Supermen picks up from exactly where we left off. Superman's dead, and now four pretenders to the Cape are running around with various claims that they're actually Superman. And so Jason and I were watching this, and I'm thinking like, wow, the the death of Superman was so great because they really stayed pretty true to the comic book inspiration, and that was 8 issues. And basically, that story is Superman deals with Doomsday as he comes and starts mauling everybody and destroys Metropolis, and then ultimately kills Superman. And I thought the movie, in some regards, did a better job because they fleshed out more things like Lois and Clark's relationship. Should he or should he not tell her about his secret identity? And they had the A-list Justice League on hand to fight Doomsday as opposed to a bunch of second stringers. And they've got the real Lex Luthor in the mix, and he's also trying to deal with his house arrest and try to get over on Superman. So a lot of cool flying, or a lot of cool elements involved here. And I thought the one thing, no, I mean, it was really good. I didn't think the changes they made were bad. I agreed with pretty much all of them, except for the line where Lex Luthor says, "I'm Lex Luthor, I'm supposed to win." So Reign of the Superman. That was a long setup to say Reign of the Superman drastically has to do some different things from the comic book source material. Namely, you can't have one of these characters nuking a city, which causes Green Lantern to go crazy and become a bad guy. That doesn't work in the context of this Warner Brother home animation universe, unless they're going to do like a whole big deal, which is kind of unnecessary. So it makes sense to streamline and shorten that storyline. And I think what they did was really cool with their switch on that level. There's one thing that I was like, this is getting too much like the other one, but all in all, I really, really liked it. They did the different Superman justice. Steel was great. Superboy was as advertised. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these characters show up in other movies down the road. Hopefully, the success of these two films will convince DC that, hey, we can do more films that don't just focus on Batman, because I like to see these characters showing up in a new Superman film. Action was just as good as Death of Superman. Jace, what were your thoughts on it, man? I'm rambling on, but what did you think about it?
Okay. The truth is, especially seeing them as a double feature, it is not as good as Death of Superman. The main reason is Death of Superman had great drama. I mean, it was characters, and like when Superman actually fell, I mean, as much as like you had a bunch of dudes in our theater like on their cell phones, when Superman died, it was all everybody's head was, you could see, just everybody was like, don't say that, don't look at nobody. Okay, I'm not gonna cry for animation, but you know, I mean, you saw everybody kind of like stiffen up their spines. They felt that drama. This one doesn't have it. I mean, it's just this one doesn't have it. This is more an action movie to get back to Superman.
And it's more of a mystery too.
Yeah, and I think it's because you know where this is going to eventually lead. I mean, like, well, you don't know exactly, because it does throw, like you said, with if you read the comic or even like even me, I remember certain elements of this comic. Like I remember Parallax. This is the start of Parallax story, which is stupid. I mean, it was not a good reason for the Justice League. Messed up Hal Jordan for years, and Jeff Johns finally had to, like when he took over, he basically was like, yeah, that couldn't happen. That was just a complete waste of a character. You could make new characters to be a bad guy, and I liked how they tied it in with kind of all the other Justice League movies. The animation was good. The voice acting was really good. I actually liked because as much as I praise DC, DC Universe, the one problem is when they have like black and minority actors, they'll tend to use the same person and then just try and have them change up their voice just slightly. And one time it's really bad when in Young Justice where you have the same actor basically talking to himself. And it's like, oh, come on, guys, you're not gonna. I mean, just ask another guy in the room to help you out with that. I mean, but this one they actually has like there's like a scene with like maybe like 3 or 4 black guys in there, not specifically black guys, but you're like, oh, I know that voice. Oh, it's like, oh, that's Phil Lamar. And I don't think Phil Lamar's in there, but you had the diversity, which I liked. Yeah, I like the Hal thing. I also said Superboy will work very well on Titans. I think that's going to be a good thing. Like he'll fit in there, and that'll be fun to see. But like I said, it's not as good, and I actually think you should watch it as a double feature, and then you'll be like, but I think you'll still enjoy it. I think it's anybody who picked it up on digital today will be surprised. I mean, we'll enjoy it. I mean, I don't know if it'll probably make your top 10 this year, Jeffrey, but I think it was definitely worth picking up.
It's that special time of the week, guys. Who's your nominees? Brought to you by Wendy's this special week. Who's your nominees for Dummy of the Week? Gunner, why don't you go ahead?
Well, I mean, yeah, the Hamburglar himself, Hamburger, however he tweeted and spelled it himself. Donald J. Trump again, Mr. President of this crazy era. Yeah, he is a walking metaphor as a fast food dish on a silver platter and just shuffled around on a silver platter. That's literally a metaphor for Donald Trump's life. He's just garbage to eat, shouldn't eat it, and he's just been, just presented to us on this silver platter as this thing to look up to, this billionaire, art of the deal guy, when he really probably isn't as successful as you would think. He should be, especially given, his daddy always bails him out. So I'm always, apparently this dude, he's gonna throw this huge state dinner for the national champions college football. And when they come here, blaming it on the shutdown because no one was working, he, instead of, going down the street to whatever he uses for room service at his own hotel down the street in Washington, D.C., he just hollers at McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, whatever, right? And throws it all on the silver platter. I saw the funniest meme ever today, finally. Oh my gosh! This if you know the picture, he's just presenting himself as like the Hamburglar and Ronald McDonald himself in front of this whole silver platter fast food plate, whatever. And it said, "This is when time travelers come to the future, see the picture, and know they effed up, and go back and try to fix it." And that's exactly what it is.
I laughed on a metro train this morning, and people looked at me like I had lost my mind, like I was the one with the bomb. That was hilarious and accurate. Like, can you imagine if you would have thought, let's say in 1997, you found time travel, and you did what you did, and you fast forwarded to 2019.
What did I do? What butterfly did I step on?
I was gonna say, do y'all remember?
What did I do?
No, do y'all remember that meme from the Trump Tower where Kanye's there and the brothers was like, no! I think that actually was time travel. I think we just actually saw it, and that was the one time it actually was like, that was a 12 Monkeys. Like, that literally was the actual photo. We just didn't know what was happening.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that was literally it.
12 Monkeys stuff right there. Yeah, you're right, man. Wow.
Like, so,
JC, you just blew my mind.
Like, I mean, that was just like, there is no way, if you're worth billions of dollars, you can't hire a chef who is aligned with your political views to make you a steak dinner. Like, that is just
dollars.
That's just like, I mean, like, seriously, like, there was no, I'm not even just like, if Obama did that would have been like, they would have just rightfully just dragged him through the mud.
They would have
eviscerated him. And I'd have been like, yeah, you're right. All right. That's just, yeah. That's inexcusable. Yeah. But this is like, this dude says, like, I'm worth billions. Like, God, you can't fly your chef from, your hotel in New York and have him work? Like, come on.
He's not worth billions. That's why he wants a $5 billion wall so he could steal $3 billion of it.
Right.
Hey, I got a detailed plan for 1.7. Hey, what are you going to do with the other 3? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Now, I did hear a rumor. Now, I haven't heard it. I haven't seen any substantial actual journalists or anybody write this. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's out there, but I just haven't seen it, right? Like, apparently, like, the Clemson players were like, yeah, we don't really get McDonald's or anything because, they got to stick with their regimen or whatever, which I think is a bunch of bull crap because I know college students anyway. And I don't care if you're an athlete or not. Every now and then you're going to have a fry, right? So, yeah, that's what I heard. Like, that's what they wanted, so that's what he did. I've heard that only from, like, a couple of posts here and there. So I haven't seen an actual, like, substantial news site or anybody, like, say that for real. I just want to throw that out there on the air just in case it's actually true. I doubt it, though.
Yeah.
No dummy of the week for even doing it because it's just a bad look. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just a bad look regardless.
Your boy Michael Strahan said, hey, guys, I'll treat you to a lobster dinner to celebrate your championship. It's kind of bad when you have an ex-football player / Good Morning America host one-upping someone's president.
The president, yeah. Even Aisha Curry, Steph Curry's wife, said, I'll cook y'all a better dinner than what you got out of the White House.
I would go to that dinner.
I would.
And you know what? She could probably cook because she's really into that gender role situation. So she could probably actually cook.
If you watch her drink, she throw down, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I guess that'll do it, man. I think it's gonna be a hard one. I mean, this is what our third week here. This dude is putting up a wall around that dummy of the week.
Oh, he's an MVP. I do have a hero of the week because, like I said, we got enough dummies and we got the biggest jackass in the world sitting down at 1,600 pounds. My hero of the week is Chef Jose Andres, who for his work in Puerto Rico may win a Nobel. He may be in a nominee for Nobel Prize. Jimmy Fallon also for bringing Puerto Rico some love. All my all the Puerto Ricans right now, big up because you got Lin-Manuel Miranda bringing Hamilton, one of the biggest plays in the last 30 years, to Puerto Rico, and he's reprised his lead role. But Chef Jose Andres, because he's feeding feds right now out of his pocket. He's feeding furlough feds right now. The pop-up kitchens over there in the Archives Navy Memorial.
Word.
Hey, man, yeah, dude is dope. I read some about what his work outside of, being a celebrity chef and all of that, but his humanitarian work, man, this dude's a chef. While Gordon Ramsay yells at some poor kid making $10 an hour who's just trying to become a sous chef in some garbage restaurant in his neck of the woods, Chef Jose Andres is actually doing something to benefit people. So we need to spend more attention looking at what this guy's doing and supporting him. He's my hero of the week, most definitely.
And with that, we're going to call this episode a wrap. It's time for you guys to get your tickets for Glass and make sure to check out my review on LiveMovieFiles.com. Fellas, thanks for rolling as always. Thank y'all out there for listening. This episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.